Alright, so the first thing we need to do with this is give it a bit of a crop. If I zoom out a little bit, you see these edges around here, especially this one here, so we just need to crop that out. We do this using the dynamic crop tool. Now I've got some icons on my screen here. These are all the processes that I'll be using to process this image, but the actual dynamic crop tool, if you're looking for it, is in all processes just there under dynamic crop. So we open that up, and you notice it's put these grey bars around the outside of the image. So if you look, when I put the mouse icon over here, you can do all sorts of things. I'm just going to move it to there. You can move that edge in. Going to go all the way around. Just drop this in here like this. And hit the tick button. Now it's removed all the edges from on the outside where the pictures were stacked. And now we can close this till we finish with it, the dynamic crop. So now we have this lovely red image to play with. There's going to be a lot of light pollution in this. Number one, I only took 20 images. And number two, this was actually done on a very moonlit night. So I'm not expecting it to be that good, but what I'm going to try and do with this set of videos is to show you, or try and show you, how we can get the best out of an image when we've got poor data. So what my plan is here, I'm going to run the automatic background extractor first to show us what we're actually looking at, and then after that I'll try and then run the dynamic background extractor on this same image to see if we can get it looking better than what is produced from the automatic background extractor. So let's run up the automatic background extraction tool, which is just there. So we're leaving everything at default. Don't need to worry about that in that case. The only things we need to worry about is the correction. We need to put that on subtraction and just drag the little triangle here over the image. And very quickly that will pull the background off that image and show us what we're dealing with. This is what pops up after we run that process. You can see here, this is the result. We'll look at that in a second. Here's the background that it pulled off. If I stretch that, you can see all that redness. This is what's been removed from the image. So we can close that. We definitely don't need that. So what we'll do is run a stretch on this image here. I should let you know that all these stretches that we do are actually temporary. They're not permanent stretches. We don't do that till a bit later on in the process. So run the stretch and we can see how this image has turned out. So that's what we have. You can see we've got some, looks like banding here across the screen. Got some unwanted areas as well. Let's just make that a bit bigger. You see the banding here that's apparent. This is something that you get with Canon DSLRs. So what we're going to try is we're going to try a script here which is under utilities. It's actually called Canon banding reduction. We're going to try running this script on that image just to see what we get. You can see it has actually removed the banding. It's done a pretty good job on that. So we'll keep that to work on as a reference to see what we've got. We may run the dynamic background extractor on this, see if we can clean up some of that unwanted noise there. But before we do that, I'm just going to clean my screen up a little bit. So let's just do that. We'll shut down this image. We don't need this anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate this 180 degrees because I think it looks better and easier to process in that rotation. So it's image, geometry, rotate 180 degrees. There you go. And I'm also going to save this image. So file, save as, goes in $$ work, remember. And it's got drizzle integration cropped. We've cropped it and we've run the ABE, which is the automatic background extraction tool. So we'll save it as that. Okay, I ran the dynamic background extraction process and it didn't make much difference to this image. So I'm going to leave it as this to do our processing on. So in the next video we'll move on from here, see if we can drop the red down a little bit and just make it look a little bit better. So stay tuned and we'll see you in part 7.